Hey guys, what's going on? Back again with another Vanguard Zombies video. A couple things I gotta mention real quickly. There might be a point in the video where the sound or audio cuts off because I'm having some laptop slash computer problems, and I might have to factory reset my entire computer. So there might be some times that it's gonna kind of maybe cut off. And I don't really edit stuff. I just record everything all in one shot. As you can tell by the quality of the video, it's not really the best because I don't edit stuff. I don't really, to be frank with you, put too much time into it. I'm more like solving Easter eggs than I am putting videos together like the big channels do. They tend to spend more time with the way it looks rather than the quality or what's inside the video itself. I more am 99% of the time searching for Easter eggs, trying to solve stuff like this, you'll see. And again, with all that being said, this is going to have some major spoilers. So if by chance you're enjoying the Vanguard slash Treyarch Zombies storyline, you might not want this to be spoiled for you because you can kind of see now after solving this what route Call of Duty slash Treyarch might be going down. And this is stuff that they've always done. It's nothing new. It's just that I started solving stuff after, way down after everything was already made. Pretty much in between Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, I went back and looked at everything that Treyarch and Call of Duty did and everything the YouTubers and the zombies community missed, and just went back and solved everything. Some of it I mentioned in the past, some of it I talked about, some of it I shared with other of the big channels, some of it I shared on Twitter with the devs, and then some stuff like this I just kind of keep for myself and don't tell anyone. But right now I'm actually deciding, to obviously talk about it. So like I said, I've solved stuff after it happened. I went back and looked at the breadcrumbs that Call of Duty Treyarch set out across all the studios, not just Treyarch, so all the Call of Duty Zombies games. So I went back and looked at everything that they did and solved everything. So now this, while I'm mentioning it, is major spoilers. It's because everything that's coming forward, not necessarily like I said in the past, looking backwards of everything that they've done. This has a little bit of that, but it also is going to be a lot of stuff that we haven't gone through yet that's potentially going to happen in the storyline, which makes it. The only thing I want to talk about really quickly is I don't want it to suffer the fate of IW Zombies, where there's some really big Easter eggs in IW Zombies that people never solved. And I even said to Lee Ross on Twitter, I said, man, I wish the zombies community and the YouTubers had solved some of this stuff because it would have made the storyline so much more enjoyable and better, and potentially more copies of the games would have been sold, more people would have played IW Zombies, um, because there is a lot of Aether stuff in IW Zombies. Some of it, like I said, are just little Easter eggs, and then some of it, maybe they would have done in IW Zombies too. So that's kind of the fine line that I have to kind of, tiptoe around, or the whatever, or the crack maybe that I have to tiptoe around is what is going to help the storyline and people play the game and, make it a successful game, or what's going to really spoil stuff for people. So it is a fine line that I have to kind of, um, you know, tiptoe around some stuff. Like I said, I'll never tell people about because it's going to spoil stuff. And I kind of accidentally did that in Cold War when nobody, and now they're going to go back and lie, but nobody knew that it was going to be Richtofen as a director. And if you look at some other Easter eggs, it was never going to be Richtofen as the as a director, sorry, as a director of Requiem. They went back and they kind of like tied a little stuff together, because if you know, like I said, the pop culture reference, it was never going to be Richtofen as director. I think they might have liked that idea, fan theory, and went along with it. So, I mean, that's kind of a mouthful. But moving forward, what I'm getting at is right now we know that there is a tie-in with Richtofen and Vanguard, and we know that now because the Mr. Peak's Blue Bunny is inside the Vanguard Shinonuma map, and sorry, I think it probably just cut up. I wouldn't have shared this if the bunny wasn't in the new Shinonuma map, because that now ties together obviously Cold War, the Aether story, the Dark Aether story, the original Aether story. So there's a lot that's going to be intertwined now, which I think is amazing. I don't know if anything pretty much is going to get changed. I don't know, because like I said, the number one factor why people don't like Vanguard and didn't like Black Ops 4 is the difficulty level. People are going to lie. I understand they have to lie to make it look like they're not bad at the game. But the story is always going to be the story. People are going to always love or hate the story depending on how difficult the map is. And I said the same thing to Kevin Sherwood with his Easter egg songs. People love the Easter egg songs in the maps that are the easiest and funnest to play, whereas they hate the Easter egg songs, and he agreed with it. They hate the Easter egg songs for the maps that are too difficult for them maybe to even trigger the Easter egg song, or for the maps for them to even play. People are always going to hate and love depending on how much they enjoy the map, how easy it is for them. So with that being said, again, this is going to kind of show or maybe help Vanguard zombies, how everything's tied together. And again, now we have a Richtofen Cold War Dark Aether Easter Bunny in Shinonuma. But going back even further, and this is the Easter egg here, is that it looks like Kortifex is Richtofen, or Kortifex was in Richtofen's body going back to Black Ops 3, because if you rearrange Kortifex's name, it spells out Richtofen without the N. It uses the X. Then it also goes into the territory of Mr. X in Black Ops 3. So this looks like it might be kind of a continuation also of of Black Ops 3 zombies, tying in Cold War and the Chaos story. So there's going to be a lot going on pretty soon, which I think is pretty amazing. And just looking at the Easter egg, I mean, it pretty much explains itself. Like I tell people, I feel like I shouldn't have to or need to explain stuff to people, because it makes it sound like I'm trying to convince them that it's not a solve. I understand there's always going to be doubters and haters, but if you look at the gunshot wound on Richtofen's head, it matches up the same as Kortifex. It's literally the same exact pose. The name that you rearrange spells Richtofen, whereas Kortifex's name is Kortifex, and then you rearrange it, it spells out Richtofen. So it looks like, I mean, and this is going to get into maybe theory territory, where it looks like either we're going to have, like, for me, I'm just showing you the solve, but as far as theories, if I wanted to take a step further, is this saying that Kortifex was in Richtofen's body in Black Ops, actually Black Ops 4, not Black Ops 3, but he got the gunshot wound in Black Ops 3, so it's kind of like a strange thing where he's the one that got shot in the giant intro cutscene. Flash forward to Black Ops 4, he shows up in that timeline or cutscene. Now he's also going to show up potentially in another form in Vanguard or the next Black Ops storyline. I don't know if anything's showing up on the screen, just ignore that if it is. But pretty much the reason I have Victor save the universe, because there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of Easter eggs. Some of it I might explain, some of it I might not explain. Some people might know the reference why I put save the universe and Victus, because in the Richtofen cutscene, you hear Victus saying, he has the voices in his head, and he believes it's Richtofen, but and then I think Russman says, hey, don't believe everything that you hear in your head. It might not be who you're thinking it is. And I'm kind of paraphrasing it because I was going to play the cutscene, but then that gets into like iffy territory. So you would have to go onto YouTube and go to Call of Duty's YouTube channel, and it's the Aether End story. But in that part, it has Victus talking and Stuhlinger saying, He wants to save the universe because that's what Richtofen, or who he thinks he's talking to, is gonna help him, or he wants to help Richtofen. So again, the part that becomes really iffy is the fact that um, did Kortifex go into Richtofen's body and trick Victus into collapsing the multiverse for his own evilness, or whatever you want to call it? That's the only thing that I'm very interested about, and like I said, it goes back to the Lee Ross stuff where I said before to Lee Ross on Twitter, how much of it would have been a cool Easter egg that would have helped hype up the game, whereas it's going to be also spoilers. So at the same time, for me, I know this is going to spoil stuff for people. At the same time, it's going to hype it up even more. Now we know that there's some type of connection between Richtofen and Kortifex. Did Kortifex go into Richtofen's body way back in Black Ops 3? Has Kortifex always been around since Black Ops 3? Was he the person in the MPD with Samantha, the greater evil, and stuff like that? Or are they saying, maybe somehow Richtofen and Kortifex got merged in the Dark Aether? Because that's another theory that people have. And at the same time, it makes me also wonder, like, what happened to what happened to Victus? Wasn't Victus supposed to go on a mission to save the universe? I don't know. Well, I'm just gonna say my idea is that what happened with COVID, they had to obviously strip down a lot of the content because of the devs working from home and stuff like that. So, was Cold War supposed to be Victus's journey to save the universe, and then maybe they pushed that back, or split it up into Cold War and Vanguard, and maybe hopefully in Modern Warfare maybe we'll get a little bit more of a tie-in where we're gonna get more of the story. I don't know if they're necessarily gonna wait till Black Ops 6 and have the story fleshed out a little bit more, because at this point, I know the story is supposed to be Victus sacrificed themselves to collapse the Aether, but at the same time, are they really dead? Did they just go to the Dark Aether? Are they in the Dark Aether somewhere? Are they going to show up in a later map or game? So that's the other thing that I'm interested in, is also, and when you look at it now, I'm going to use my mouse. Is this, no, I wouldn't go as far as to say that's a blood vial or anything like that. Does Richtofen somehow still have the blood vial with him? I mean, because that looks like it could be, and I probably should have looked at it a little bit further. I'm not going to go crazy and say that's definitely a blood vial there that maybe he has with him, so he can go back to the story and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, that gets into like crazy theories and fan theories and stuff like that, which I try to stay away from. But I wonder now, looking at it, if that's a blood vial that maybe Richtofen was going back and forth, or Kortifex is going back and forth, and stuff like that. And if you look at it now, like I said, I sometimes solve this stuff while I'm doing it live. This looks like that guy from the Nuketown loading screen on the chewing gum. So, like, are they really trying to flesh out all these storylines and stuff that were never solved? Because that now looks like who that might actually be, aside from it being Richtofen with the gunshot wound, and stuff like that. So that's something very interesting, But anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. Like I said, I know it's kind of a lot to go through, but obviously their names, you rearrange it, it spells Richtofen, the gunshot, and was Kortifex in Richtofen's body. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.